Have you ever felt like you're built for something greater? But no matter how hard you push, something feels off. Like you're chasing goals, staying busy, maybe even successful. But inside, there's this low hum of emptiness. What if I told you that you're not broken? You're just unbalanced. Carl Jung believed that inside all of us are ancient psychological patterns, archetypes, that shape how we think, feel, act, and relate to others. Later, two men, Robert Moore and Douglas Gillette, refined Jung's work into something every modern man could use: the four masculine archetypes: the king, the warrior, the magician, and the lover. These are not roles you play. They are energies that live in you right now. Some might be strong, others dormant. When one dominates or another is suppressed, you feel fragmented. But when they come into balance, you become powerful, calm, centered, and deeply alive. Let's start with a feeling you probably know, that sharp, focused energy you feel when you're locked in, charging toward a goal. That's your warrior. He's disciplined, he's determined, he protects what matters. When you need to step up, get it done, fight through resistance, that's him. Have you ever been so driven to achieve something that nothing could distract you? Not fear, not fatigue, not even failure. That's warrior energy, fully awake. But when the warrior lacks balance, he turns dark. He becomes the sadist, cold, cruel, brutal, not just toward others, but toward yourself. You might drive yourself into the ground, beat yourself up, or lash out to control. Or if he's underdeveloped, the warrior becomes the masochist, resentful, passive, bottling anger until it bursts. That fire, it has to be directed. That's the warrior's job. But fire alone isn't enough. You need vision, strategy. That's where the magician comes in. The magician is your thinker. He's the observer, the innovator, the guide. He helps you make sense of the world. He's why you see patterns no one else does. Why you sometimes know how to fix a problem others can't even name. Engineers, therapists, strategists, scientists, these men channel the magician. Have you ever become so skilled at something, so masterful, that it felt like you were bending reality? Like you were doing magic? That's the magician in you. But this archetype has shadows too. When he turns dark, he becomes the manipulator, hoarding knowledge, using it to control, to gaslight, to stay in power, while keeping others in the dark. Or he hides, becoming the detached magician, afraid to act, lost in theory, paralyzed by his own thoughts. And this is the danger. A man stuck in warrior and magician mode might look successful, but inside, he's drying out. I knew a guy just like that, brilliant, relentless, always thinking, always doing, but he had no joy, no connection, no peace, until he met the archetype he'd ignored for years, the lover. The lover is passion, beauty, emotion, intimacy. He's the part of you that feels deeply music, love, nature, even pain. He's why a sunset can stop you in your tracks, or why connection can light you up from the inside. Have you ever held someone close and felt like time stopped? Or poured your soul into something creative and lost all sense of ego or time? That's the lover in full bloom. But when the lover takes over, he becomes the addict, chasing sensation, running from responsibility, afraid of boredom or stillness, addicted to sex, pleasure, validation, and when suppressed, he becomes the impotent lover, emotionally numb, disconnected from life, unable to feel anything at all. The lover is not weak, he's essential. Without him, everything becomes mechanical. Purpose fades, meaning dissolves. And this is where many high-functioning men fall apart, not because they lack discipline, but because they lack connection. So where does all of this lead? Who brings it all together? The king. The king is the center, the throne, the part of you that leads, not with ego, but with stability. A true king doesn't control. He governs, he blesses, he builds. He doesn't chase power, he radiates it. Have you ever walked into a room and brought calm with you? Not because you forced it, but because you were grounded, present, anchored. That's the king. But the king has shadows too. When distorted, he becomes the tyrant, dominating, fearful of losing control, destroying what he cannot rule. Or he becomes the weakling, unable to make decisions, always second-guessing, giving his power away to others. You don't get it by copying someone else or chasing status. You get it by integrating the other three. And here's the truth most men miss. You can't fake king energy. When your warrior is disciplined, your magician is wise, your lover is alive, the king is born. Now here's where it gets real. Each of these archetypes exists on a spectrum, and each has two poles, the overdeveloped and the underdeveloped side. In between is your sweet spot, balanced, alive, mature, but most men are tilted. One archetype in overdrive, one totally ignored. That's where the shadows creep in. So ask yourself this, honestly. Which archetype is running your life right now? And which one have you silenced? Are you all warrior, grinding 24/7, but disconnected from joy? Are you stuck in your head, your magician, overthinking everything, but never acting? Or have you overindulged in the lover, chasing quick hits of dopamine, but avoiding structure and purpose? It's not about labeling yourself. It's about listening. Awareness is the beginning of growth. When you start to bring these archetypes into balance, everything shifts. You stop reacting and start responding. You move with power and peace. You become a man others can trust, a man who can lead, love, protect, and build, not because he's pretending to be something, but because he's finally owning who he really is. These four archetypes live in you: the warrior, the magician, the lover, the king. They are not goals to achieve. They are parts of you to remember. So here's the invitation. Begin to notice which one is asking to be heard, Which one has been dominating too long? Start listening, and when you do, you'll feel it. Not theory, not fantasy, but real, grounded transformation. And if this resonates with you, if something in this clicked, consider this just the beginning. We'll go deeper into each archetype in future videos, so subscribe and share in the comments which archetype felt most alive for you today. Because the path forward, it's not outside you, it's already within. Let's wake it up